if you skip your reps, you're really just demonstrating how inferior your fucking soul is. You have to understand that your work ethic is a reflection of your soul. Your work ethic is a direct reflection of how much you love yourself. And if you can sit there, show up to the task you said you wanted to do, to be better, to evolve as a person, physically, mentally, spiritually, to uphold the task and the duty of being a fucking organism, and to half-ass that, but not just half-ass it, but to skip sets, to skip reps, you're just demonstrating how inferior you really are. And you have to understand that when you skip reps, you provide evidence to your subconscious mind of how much a bitch you are. And so when you see someone who shows up as the best they possibly can, who exudes the maximum every day, to put in their pain and to leave satisfied with what they've put in, their work ethic is a reflection of their soul, and their soul is a reflection of the light from above. And so when you sit there and you try to criticize, or you try to downplay, or you try to minimize and contract someone who is obviously demonstrating the superior echelon of work ethic, to demonstrate a superior degree of work ethic, to put in the work in the maximum of effort, to not only show up, but to show up as the best. You have to understand that showing up and showing up as the best are two different fucking things. And if you could sit there, show up, and demonstrate inferiority by minimizing your input into what you're trying to output, in your reality, what you're trying to output is results. What you're trying to output is muscle, mental calluses. You have to understand that as your hands callous up, so will your mind. You have to understand that every rep is self-empowerment, and to sit there and to skip empowerment because you feel entitled that you don't need to work and become the best for yourself just goes to show what level you operate on, and it goes to show what level we operate on. And since you operate on that inferior level and we operate on this superior level, by demonstration, by conduct, by self-input, by self-love, to look at an individual and tell who loves themselves and who doesn't, to the person who obviously loves themselves is superior to the person who's inferiorly conducting themselves because they do not care enough about themselves to conduct themselves and to induce and input high quality energy, high quality input into themselves to demonstrate superior conduct in their existence. And so you have to understand that when an inferior sees something superior, what they perceive cannot be received, because what they have perceived is denied by their subconscious mind, because what they are perceiving is going to either make them glitch out, literally start to glitch in their mind, to wonder why they skip, to wonder why they half-ass, they laugh, they play it off, they leave before the work's even started, they leave before they've actually put in the work in themselves to actually earn the spot, or to earn the action of leaving. You have to earn the leaving. You have to understand that when you enter the gym door, it's not just lifting up weights. You're lifting spiritual weights. You are bearing the burden of the responsibility of being an organism. You are growing and expanding with every rep. And this is why you have to induce the affirmation. This is why I tell you to charge your reps with self-empowering affirmations, to charge your rep with, elite superior affirmation, to demonstrate and to confirm to yourself who the fuck you are through action. Everyone wants to say they're this. Everyone wants to say they're that. Everyone feels like they're this. Everyone feels like they're that. But when we deduce you by who the fuck you are and the way you demonstrate and conduct yourself in your reality, you're a half-assed bitch. To sit there, pick up a bottle and think you're him. To sit there, poison yourself, passively kill yourself, annihilate and destroy the one vessel you get in the lifetime you only get once. And to sit there and pretend you are him, when we have people that wake up every day at 3 a.m. who hit the gym every day at 3:45 a.m., never miss, to hit the gym every day at 5 a.m., 12 p.m., and 7 p.m., 3 times a day, every day, to demonstrate elite discipline in their reality, and then you come in this existence pretending like you're him when you're obviously not. Bitch! You show up to life half-assed and undone, and then you reflect this mediocre of a joke, to reflect this loser, bitch-ass mentality, to sit there and to put in less, to skip your reps, to skip the duty of being a fucking man, and to skip the accountability that you hold yourself accountable to grow in life, and then to show up and think you're him. Bitch! Get on your fucking knees and you better understand that you are a bitch. You are sucking dick. You are sucking the devil's dick every time you skip your own rep. And so understand that when you skip your rep, you're not just skipping a rep. You're skipping that empowerment. You're skipping that self fucking calcification. You are skipping the deadening of your bones. You are skipping the shredding and growing and the potency of you becoming the best version of you. And so we can sit there and we can be this nihilistic individual who can only rationalize and can't use the right hemisphere of their fucking brain and pretend like, oh, you're only lifting weights. It's okay to skip reps. Why is he so fucking serious? Or we can understand that when you do something difficult and you conquer the resistance, you grow. To push through the dirt, to conquer resistance, is to grow as an individual. And when you decide to uphold the duty to do that every fucking day, you will begin to conquer resistances within yourself, whether that be trauma or whatever the fuck excuse you use to remain a bitch. You have to understand that every time you conquer that resistance, you're a different fucking individual. The individual you are today is going to be so much different than the individual you are from a year from now if you conquer your resistances every day by holding yourself accountable, showing up to the gym every day no matter the circumstance or condition, and to put in the maximum, not just to show up to feel like you're something, to feel like you're him, but to actually show up, to look yourself in the mirror and say, I fucking love you, and this is how I'm going to prove it to you. I fucking love you, so this is how I'm going to demonstrate to you that you are worth my time and energy. You are worth the maximum, and I'm going to put that into myself. I may not know the best way to go about working out. I may not be the most competent individual in the gym, but what I do know, if I lift this fucking weight and I push past this resistance and I go heavier every day, I'm going to outgrow my former self. I'm going to grow into something more than what the fuck I am now. And that's all that matters to me, because I only live once. And if the tree has no fucking excuse to grow, if the universe expanded from nothing to something and had no excuse to contract, well, bitch, since I'm in it, I'm gonna do the fucking same. You have to understand that that is the mindset. Once you embody that mindset, your reality will shift. You will shift. You will become a different individual once you start to conquer the resistance in the gym. When you see that six pack, when you see those shoulders coming in, when you see that you are literally evolving as an individual, your mind, your self-perception of yourself, the way you act, your confidence, you will exude the maximum in every endeavor, because the most difficult habit of the day, which is to go in and to conquer the resistance that weight will allow to lift spiritual weight, to lift resistance, to pick up resistance, to conquer that resistance, and to channel that in every endeavor of life, and to exude the maximum, and to become the maximus, and to love yourself enough to do it every day, and to uphold that responsibility, and to never ever skip yourself out. Because the people who skip themselves out will perceive people who don't skip themselves. They will perceive and they will be unable to receive what the fuck they're perceiving. You have to understand that you are literally a reverberation of your internal dialogue. So what you internally speak to yourself is going to reverberate and manifest out of you through your conduct. It's going to manifest out of you through the way you look, the look in your eye. That is a direct manifestation of the way you talk to yourself internally. When you down talk yourself, you're going to have a bitch ass pussy look in your eye. When you talk to yourself and you empower yourself and you have the courage to continue when you feel like you're down, you will have that and you will carry that look in your fucking eye. And so you have to understand that when you talk yourself out of those reps, when you talk yourself out of that mental calcification, when you're okay with being a fat piece of shit, you have to understand that that is a direct reflection of your internal dialogue. And therefore, your reality is going to reflect that into existence, and you're going to die a mediocre, low-level piece of shit that did nothing but reverberate mediocrity in their one existence in lifetime they only get once, to never actually get that look in the fucking eye, to look in the mirror and say, I love you enough to actually change everything about you and to create you in the likely image of the best version of me, which is the fucking image of God. Let's be real. So you have to understand that every time you sit there and you skimp yourself out and you talk yourself out of what you need to do to become more in life, to compound that energetic life force, and to compound your life force, and to channel that into every endeavor. But before you can channel that, you have to show up for yourself and exude the maximum in the one endeavor called resistance overcoming, to overcome the resistance, aka spiritual weight. And the spiritual weight is behind the heavy ass fucking bar that no one wants to lift in the gym, and then the continual perpetuation on infinity of to go into the gym and to demonstrate who the fuck everyone's not. I'm in the gym and I'm exuding the maximum. Everyone's looking at me and I'm thinking to myself, the only reason I exist is to demonstrate what the fuck you're not. To show up and to demonstrate what the fuck and who the fuck you're not. To show up and to demonstrate what you could be, but will never become, because you're too much of a bitch to bear that burden. You're too much of a bitch to show up, exude the maximum, to put the maximum into yourself, and then to reflect that into your reality. All of you guys are fucking low-level, inferior fucking primates because you conduct yourself that way. Get a different outlet, bitch. You're always focused on the plug. You're so fucking addicted, you forgot you only live once. You are siphoning yourself. You are minimizing and contracting yourself. You are a parasite to yourself. You have a parasitic symbiosis to yourself. You latch onto your life force and you milk yourself and you drain yourself. And you sit there and complain about everyone but that bitch in the mirror. You sit there and you complain about everything, about what you will sit there and complain about things you cannot control, but you will sit there and neglect the responsibility to uphold the duty of responding to the things you can. And so that's who the fuck you are. And until we hit the casket, we will continue every day to perpetuate this infinite loop of who the fuck you're not, what the fuck you don't do, what the fuck you're too much of a bitch to do. Every day we're going to wake up and we're going to show you who the fuck you're not by exuding the maximum, putting the maximum into ourselves, and demonstrating who the fuck we are and what the fuck we believe we're worth. You have to understand that the way you demonstrate yourself and conduct yourself in your reality is what the fuck you believe you're worth. And if that's what you believe you're worth, bitch, that's what the fuck you're worth. It's that fucking simple. Peace!